Hello, everyone. Thanks for having me here. Nice little tight group, too. I like that. Nice little close room.
I believe you were just back there. I mean, Mike just said, I wanted him and nobody else. What does that mean to you that he's saying that publicly? And did you get that sense when he first reached out to you?
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, I've known Mike for a long time, and he's first and foremost a great person. And I think that this game is all about relationships. It's about how you work with people, how you communicate with people. And to be able to work with him is very exciting for me. And, just the fact that all of our conversations for the past years have been awesome. He talked a little bit about the philosophies and all that, and it goes even deeper when it comes to the family and how he is with his, and that means a lot to me. And so I'm very honored to be here.
How long have you known him?
Goes way back. I mean, I remember when Matt and I would interview quarterbacks in the train station at the combine, and Mike was over there interviewing wide receiver coaches, and maybe, oh yeah, there's my brother. And so, I mean, it goes back to his Atlanta days, early in his career.
I know it's only been a few weeks, but have you noticed in what ways that he and Matt are similar or very different?
Yes. There's lots of similarities, which is amazing, and there are definitely some differences. My experience at Green Bay with Matt was absolutely incredible. Matt's one of my dearest friends, and I'm so grateful for all my time that I had with him. And now I'm looking for that same experience with another LaFleur. So you're just going to keep racking up those LaFleurs,
What's the most important thing? I mean, obviously you've done it with Matt, his first year, now you're in Mike's first year. How can you be the best resource to Mike?
In this position, it's so great. For me, it's the ability to help other coaches, help players, help Mike, be as service to all of them, and to be able to help them be the best version of themselves. And I think that's what we all want to do as coaches. We want to teach coaches. We want to teach players. In the end, that's what we are. And through all the experiences that I've had, up and down, I think that most things that you grow from are some of those adversity, some of the adversity that you go through. And heck, we all go through it. And as long as you get something from it, it's so key. And to be able to pass that knowledge on to Mike to help him maybe not do some of the things I've done and do some of the things I've done. So you get to just continually learn and grow. And I think as human beings, all of us are like that. We all want to grow. We all want to get better. And, that's what I want to be here for Mike and everybody.
How would you describe your approach with quarterbacks? Obviously, you've had a lot of success with some quarterbacks in the past. How would you kind of describe your philosophy?
Well, I think we have to sit back and, I'm confident to say it's probably the hardest position to play in any sports. And I think that everybody kind of says that, but until you're in the room, until you watch them out on the field and you go through plans and you see how just from the pressure of all the people in the fans screaming and yelling, whether it's positive or negative, it's unbelievable, like what they go through. Just even getting up to the line, the checklist, the processes, and then you've got these very, very talented, huge human beings trying to rip your face off. I think we can never give enough credit to anybody that has ever had an opportunity to step on a field and play that position. So I think for me, it's always been about that relationship with them because there's so many ups and downs. They have to have something steady, and they have to have a foundation that they can believe in and know that you're always going to be there with them and for them. That's the key, because you want them to have, as I've always said, as my father used to tell me, is they have to have a can't stop me mentality, no matter what the situation is. Whether you take a hit, complete a throw, don't complete a throw, they have to come back every single play, erase that last one, and be able to execute the next one. And they touch the ball every play. So it's one of those things for us, for all the coaches, it's about supporting that position, because when that position plays well, you're going to have a good football team.
Have you spent much time in the Valley in Arizona?
I haven't. I've come here to play a couple times. I've got a lot of friends here. Some people that were in my wedding are here, so it's been awesome. Just getting off the plane, we've had a couple cold environments, and all of a sudden you walk out, and I think I got here, I don't even know what month it is. It's been all kinds of crazy, but you just walk out and you see people in shorts and T-shirts and smiles, and you're like, this is awesome. and it has been incredible. Just to be able to walk outside, even open up the door. Mike opens up the door to his office. I'm like, I hear birds and stuff, instead of being boxed in certain places. But it is unbelievable here.
So you haven't spent a summer here yet?
It's I've been in some hot environments too, but I sit there and I go, and everybody always talks about some of that heat and how it gets. I mean, I was looking at one house and somebody was telling me that you got to cover the barbecue, it might melt. I was like, what are you talking? You can't get in the pool, stuff like that. But you look at some of the cold environments and you have 5 months of being indoors and cold. It sounds like it's about 2 to 3 months. It's a little hot, and I enjoy the heat. Gotta love it hot.
How do you envision your role looking and kind of the split and how you and Mike are going to do things on the offensive side?
Gosh, I don't even look at it as a split. I think for me, my goal, no matter what the role is that the entire staff understands the plan and can call the game the exact same way. That's really, in essence, what you're looking for. That it doesn't matter who's got the paper. It doesn't matter who's got the microphone to the quarterback. It's everybody's going to call it the same way. So I think it's more about doing whatever I can do to help Mike get to that place that he's got a can't stop me mentality, and he's feeling it when he's out there and being able to call the plays and dial it up, and the quarterback knows that. So for me, it's just all about being there for him, helping him develop the plans, helping him develop anything that he needs, and make it so he could be the best version of himself.
Could you describe your offensive philosophy, how you'd like to move the team up and down the field?
Gotta love explosives. That's why the fans get in the stands. I think we're always looking for that. But there's also a sense of efficiency. So everything you do within a foundation of a system is to be able to find your efficiency and what those guys can hang their hat on. So I think that whatever it is for us, you have to be able to evolve, because the players change a lot in this league. I mean, we've seen, especially the past couple years, whether it be an injury or something happened, there's so many changes. And for us, it's about flexibility to find that foundation for the players that we have within our system, and then to be able to find those explosives, because again, that's what the people want.
Really doesn't exist in the NFL anymore. You've been part of some quick turnarounds. Are there keys to getting things headed in the right direction quickly, just over an offseason?
Everybody wants things fast in today's society. I think we've noticed it. It goes deeper than just football. Everybody wants to see success right away. For coaches, we always want to win. We want to win every game. Doesn't matter what the situation is. We always want to have explosive offenses, great defenses, amazing special teams. And, that's what we're always going to strive for. And you hope that, chips fall where they in our direction, and we do well. This game is so beautiful and so amazing that the reason why we love watching it is because you never know what's going to happen. And each game is separated by a couple plays. And sometimes they're at the very end of the game, and sometimes they can be in the beginning. And so I think it's about just building a foundation for these guys and having them believe in something. And the longer you get, usually the better it goes. I look back to our experience at Green Bay. That first year, my first year at Jacksonville, those major turnarounds that we had, there was a lot of guys believing in each other and working through some things. It wasn't pretty in the beginning, but it slowly got better and better. And, that's what you want. You want to try to build that sustained success. So it's not easy to turn things around quickly, but again, we want to do it for a long time. We don't want to just have, one good year. So we want to do it the right way.
You mentioned talking about the importance of learning lessons from every stop. What did you learn in Denver and in New York that you could kind of carry into this role?
And learn from your adversity and expect adversity. We always talk about that, but I think, again, it's how you view that adversity. You can let it bring you down, and I've always been somewhat known as an energetic human being, and no matter what, don't change. Be yourself. Always enjoy the moment, and, sometimes you got to block out that noise. A lot of people say that. It's easier said than done. I've learned to be able to block out that noise so I can keep that energy and keep rolling.
What was last year's experience like, just learning from an offensive play calling standpoint, seeing how that operation went?
At Green Bay last year? Last year I was at Green Bay, and I was able to work. It was absolutely an incredible experience to be able to work with both sides of the ball and just learn it from a different perspective from defense even more was absolutely phenomenal. Coach Hafley is an amazing coach. We've seen his success and where he's at right now at the Dolphins, and I wish him the best of luck. He's a great human being, and I think, especially last year, it's all about learning and trying to grow and find out how people look at things and how they game plan, and the more that you can do to learn, the better you're going to be as a coach.
What do you like being part of this family, like LaFlores and Robert Saleh and McVay? Like, you guys just kind of all work for each other and whatnot to some degree. Like, what's that like being part of it?
I mean, it's awesome. I mean, and I think it's because they're also such great people, so your conversations are fun, and you can talk about different opponents. You could talk defense, you can talk offense, and, it's funny, we all kind of started around the same time. I remember when I was at, I believe it was Tampa, I think we had a preseason game. I remember, Saleh was out there, and the tree goes longer. I know Steno was there, who's at Green Bay. I mean, it's a very tight fraternity, and to be able to be part of that is awesome. It's great to just be able to have those guys to bounce things off of.
You mentioned your dad a couple minutes ago, and Mike called him a legend a few minutes earlier. How do you describe what his role was and kind of who you are as a coach now?
Dad's very intimidating. We did our all-time. It was pretty cool. I talked to Mike about it. We did our all-time. You had to be on the team and have coached that person at some point. And looking at my father's all-time team, I mean, it's unbelievable. When you just have to debate on who your running backs are between Curtis Martin, Tony Dorsett, Marcus Allen, Herschel Walker. You're just like Roger Craig, who just got in the Hall of Fame. Congratulations to him. But I mean, just the offensive line itself. I mean, the amount of guys that he's coached. So he's been so amazing for me. I mean, just through everything, and anytime you try to get down, you know what you got into. You've been doing this your whole life, and remember when he always goes back to remember my time, and I'm like, oh gosh, come on, Dad. But I think that all that, and even from the schematics, the foundation. I mean, my father was lucky enough to work with Bill Walsh when all this stuff was really starting to pick up. I mean, 1984 season, he got the Super Bowl and with Joe Montana and all those guys, and just even some of his draft evaluation processes and just hearing the guys that he was part of those drafts. And, he's always told me, he said, you finally know the really, really good ones when you get a chance to coach the great ones. And I think that I always try to go back to those guys. I have all of his old tape. I had to take some 16 millimeters and stuff like that and digitize them. But to just be able to see those things and talk with him about the evaluation, have him evaluate people for me, just to see how he sees it, it's always helping me grow.
If you don't mind taking us back, how often did you grab his playbook off his desk and go through it with him?
So one cool thing about today is what they call a hard drive. Because hard drives, you can just put in your suitcase and you got all your stuff. If everybody here can understand how many times my father would make me move these playbooks in the garage from house to, there were 50 boxes filled with 50 playbooks. I mean, he kept everything. He still has stuff down there, and he'll send me just as a gift. Hey, I've got my 1967 USC Trojan playbook you can look at, and you grab it. It's a little moldy, and you're like, well, and I kind of go through it, and he shows them to me all the time. I mean, he's so proud of those things, and he should be, because his success is unbelievable throughout his past. And what's crazy is when you look at some of those things that we still do today, and how he talked about it, how he coached it, it's all through the league. I mean, you look at it, and I remember my dad called me right after Aaron had thrown, I believe it was his 400th touchdown, and I believe it was just a disc route. And my dad was more excited that it was on that play than anything. He's like, it still works. You can still do some of those basic things. And, we're always trying to be innovative in this game. But I think in the end, it's about the foundation. The foundation was started all the way back then.
What was the biggest thing you learned working with Aaron?
Always have an answer for what you're going to do. I think that as a coach, if you're going to get up in front of anybody and you're going to talk to them, you have to have the answer of the why. And we always say that, but not a lot of guys will kind of test you. Aaron will test you. And I think that made me a much better coach because every step, every footwork, from how do you take a snap from under center to how you throw a football to how you hand a football off, how you mesh every single thing had to be answered. And so I always had to have that. And that, again, makes you better. So you have to truly be an expert of every facet of the game, whether it's pass protection, whether it's O-line technique. And so it just made me better and challenged me every day.
You ever stop and think about how many NFL logos you've worn and what this career has been like for you?
If you could see between my father and I, the room we have where he lives in New Hampshire of all the different teams, it's pretty impressive. And that's how the league is. There's always change. Change is the norm in our profession. And you could either look at it as, you got to do something else, or you could look at all the amazing people. Look at the people I get to sit in front of right now and get to know all of you. I'm so excited for this. So I think it's how you perceive it. And it's been great. So many organizations, seeing it done so many different ways through just when I was a young kid and on the field when Tom Landry was at Dallas Cowboys to Bill Walsh to Marty Schottenheimer. I've been so lucky to be around so many different organizations, and just shows you again why this is such a great league.
What excites you about some of the pieces on this roster?
It's we played Arizona this past year. Green Bay did, so I got to look at them a lot. And there's some great pieces here. I'm really excited to work with all these guys. And as we go through, this is. Mike was talking about, these 2 weeks, and a lot of people, you hear that thing, that saying, drinking water through a fire hose. It's more like a fire hydrant. So for me, you're never going to know 100% till you get to coach guys, till you're in the room, till you go through adversity, till you're on, in the game with them, till you really get to know who they are. But I'm just so excited to be here with some of these guys because they're great people first and foremost. Some of the guys that I've been able to talk to are just great guys, and you love coaching those guys.
Your previous experience
Coach, we'll make this the last one.
Okay.
with your previous experience as a head coach in the NFL, what are some of the challenges that come with that jump, and how you can advise Mike as he's making that transition?
I think you never understand what it's going to be until you're in that chair. And for Mike, there's going to be some things that are going to come up that you never would have thought, you just didn't even know happened. Because for us as coaches, we lock it in, we sit down, and all we want to do is ball. We want to put the guys in the best position possible. We want to help our players grow. We just want everything for the team. And then when you're in that seat, there's just a lot of other things that come up. Whether it's now you have defense. Coach talked about being in the special teams rooms. So there's so many things that you end up doing, and so many different things that come up, good and bad, that just you had never foreseen, and you get to find out how you want to react to all those things. So from my standpoint, it's going to be great to be able to try to warn them for some of those things that might show up, and have a head start on all of them.